Morning, Miss Tita. Ooh, who is this? Excuse me. I'm pretty sure we don't have Muhammad Adiar. Oh, okay. Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, Miss Tita, I suppose you are in the office at the moment.
Yes.
Okay. So, do you have any fixed schedule to be in the office?
Yes. Every Sunday, Friday, and Wednesday.
Wednesday. But other than those days, you work from home.
Yes.
I see. Miss Shahnas, as I see it, you are at home, I think. Has the, sorry, not has, have the students, is this still their semester break or have they come back to the university? Hello, Miss
Maybe.
Shahnas.
Halo, Miss Teti. Good morning.
Good morning.
Miss Tita.
Hello. Good morning.
So have the students come back to the university or still in their semester break?
I think still until semester break. We plan for hybrid class.
Ah, I see. So in the hybrid plan, is it going to be like 50-50 or is it going to be less students? I don't know. What kind of hybrid do you plan?
I hear that plan hybrid class is 50-50 or approved for the parents to
Send their kids to the
yes.
uni.
Yeah.
Good morning, Miss Fifi.
Good morning, Miss Tati.
Okay. So it shows the ones who are in the office are actually wearing masks and the ones at home are not wearing masks.
But I'm in office, so I think
You are wearing masks. I will be late because I was still in the meeting. Okay. Okay, hang on. Okay, Miss Dewey, thank you for the notification. We will be waiting. Here you go. We will be waiting for 30 more seconds for your classmates to come. I'm really not good at zooming and replying to text. So I rarely when I'm on Zoom, I rarely check WhatsApp for messages. So if you know that the Zoom already started and I don't reply to your messages on WhatsApp, please understand because I'm really not that good at multitasking like this. Okay, Miss Dui, thank you for the notification. See, I haven't replied, Miss Dui's. There. It took too long for me to multitask like that. Okay, let's just start. So our session today, this morning, is going to talk about the grammar part of your leisure activities. Some of these grammar parts have been mentioned during my first meeting with you. When we talked about preferences or the things that we like, and we use like, love, hate, prefer, and so on. So like this one, we need to use gerunds or verb ing after the preferences words. Sorry, preference words. There you go. So we have, I love watching videos on YouTube. Enjoys, fancies, hate, love. Of course, the one that follows the subject is actually the preference word. So the one that you see in the bold letters, love, like, enjoy, fancy, they follow the subject. If the subject is he, of course, you need to add is, es as usual. If the subject is we, I, they, we, I, you don't have to add the es. Another thing that we are going to discuss in our grammar part is actually talking about models. Models for suggestions on are must, should, and this one. I'm not sure if you are familiar with this one. Most Indonesians don't use these words. Are you familiar with that? No? Does
No.
anybody want to share how to read it?
Oh, so
There you go. Thank you. It is pronounced ought. So instead of clear O, ought to, we say ought to. So combine ought to. Okay, ought to. And this one, however, is more familiar if you are saying it with like this. You'd better. Okay. So usually you hear it, you'd better. And some people think it is you would better, but it's actually you had better. Okay. So we are going to try to use these models for suggestions first. Advice. I'm going to give a sample problem. I have a problem and I'm going to ask for your advice. Okay. You are free to use must, should, ought, and had better. If you know, if you read the notes here, had better is the strongest among the four models. So when you say had better, you are actually telling me that you like it or not, you have to do it. Something like that. Okay. But if you say something like you must try it, you're just suggesting. You're not really pushing me to do it. There. Okay. Now we are going to practice with this. And one thing that you need to remember, after modals, you need to use the basic verb. So no S, no ES, no ing, no verb to, only the basic verb. Okay. Let's try. I have a problem. Good morning, Miss Audie. Have I said good morning to Miss Ayu, by the way? Good morning, Miss Ayu. I haven't greeted Miss Ayu earlier, so sorry
Good
about that.
morning.
So my problem is I am overweight. What can I do to make me slimmer? But it must be fun, something that is fun. I don't want to go to the gym. It's too boring. And I need your advice.
I think you must to drink much water.
Remember, Miss Ayu, after must, you don't use to. It's basic verb. Can you try one more time, please?
I think you must drink much water.
Thank you so much. What is it for?
Mm, to to fill our stomach.
Ah, I see. So I don't eat too much.
Yes, like that.
Thank you, Miss Ayu. The others, can I have your advice, please? I really need your help.
You should fasting for a day because the fasting much lower for it, and then make for more religious.
Thank you. Miss Shahnas, remember after should modals, we also don't use verb ing. So you should fast. Okay. Can you give me the advice one more time, please? Miss Shahnas, you are still muted. Okay.
I think more for you sort of fast for your tithing because list for it and then more religious.
Ah, thank you, Miss Shahnas, for the advice. I really appreciate it. How about Miss Audie, Miss Fifi, and Miss Tita?
Hello.
Okay, Miss Fifi, go on.
You should eat before 6 p.m.
Pardon, Miss Fifi?
You
I
should eat until 6 p.m.
Oh,
Until 6 p.m. Yes.
I thought you said you should eat. I was like,
No. You have finished every activity about eating until 6 p.m.
why is it only until 6 p.m. though?
Can use English. It's about pencernaan.
Oh, digestive.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so it's about digestive. There you go. Thank you, Miss Fifi, for the advice. How about Miss Tita and Miss Odi?
Maybe you must try like exercise, maybe at home.
Mm. Don't forget to use the suggestion word, Miss Tita, the model. You can use must, should.
Must try,
Mhm.
must try exercise.
Oh, must try
Okay.
exercising. Okay.
Yes.
What kind of exercising do you suggest?
What? Sit up maybe. Sit up or push up.
Oh man, sit up or push up. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Miss Tita, for the advice, for the suggestion. Miss Odi, how about you?
Hello?
Yep.
Okay. I think you should consume a fruit or vegetables more. Something like that.
I should consume more vegetables. I do agree. That should be a thing that I do. Thank you so much, Miss Odi. Now we are going to switch. Can somebody give a problem so the others can give advice? Anybody has any problem? It can be related to work also, since you are working in the same institution.
Steady. I want to ask something
Sure,
about
sure, Miss Fifi.
models. Have to. Can we use have to in this yeah in this session? Have to.
Definitely, you can use it. But remember, in a conversation, it's always better to say the subject and then D and better. So instead of you had better, blah, 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 you need to say you'd better. So you want to use had to only without better?
Have to.
When we
Have
use have to, it's usually come from ourselves. So it's a different thing with must. This is the deal. For example, I have to wake up at 5. No, I have to wake up at 4:30 every morning. Nobody tells me to wake up at 4:30, so I have to. But I must start working at 8. So because it's from somebody else suggestion, I must start working at 8. I have to wake up at 4:30. So that's the difference between using have to and must. Okay. So have to is from yourself. That's why we don't use it in suggestion. We actually use had better instead of must. Okay. So does that answer your question, Miss Fifi?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody has any problem at all? Maybe about your kids, your jobs? Miss Ayu seems thinking about her problem. Could you please share your problem with us?
I think my problem likes you, Miss.
How about the others? Do you have any problem probably at work that we can give suggestions to? Miss Fifi, Miss Yahnas, Miss Odi? Miss Odi has a problem.
Okay, I think I has a problem.
Okay, go on then.
How to deal with a stubborn, a stubborn student. Like when they ask something and I told them to wait or just hold on like that. They I don't know, they always seem eager to get what they want instead of waiting, something like that.
I see. So the others, do you have any advice or suggestion for dealing with stubborn students? No, nobody.
I think that's everyone's problem in here.
Nobody. Miss Tita, Miss Shahnas, Miss Fifi, Miss Ayu. Personally, I don't give too much attention to those who are impatient. So when they, and my learners are worst because we are connected through WhatsApp. So usually, even at midnight, they go like, pee, pee, pee. I was like, this is midnight. I am going to sleep. I'm not going to respond to you. So I usually told them to, oh, hang on. Miss Putri is here. Hello, Miss Putri. Good morning.
Good morning, Miss.
Okay.
I'm sorry for coming late, Miss.
It's okay. No problem. So you should tell them strictly about the rule in the university. For example, if you are asking them to wait and they actually, did they turn off the, I don't know, when they contact you, do they use, what kind of platform do they use?
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp. Okay. So when they actually contact you through WhatsApp and they are impatient, you can tell them to, you should tell them to wait for 5 minutes. If you are not back in 5 minutes, it means that you need to wait for another 5 minutes.
So I had to reply again and again.
No. Just tell them that, remember, you should use positive words always. I always use that with my learners. So I rarely use don't. because
Uh,
it triggers their brain to go, I need to do
Yeah.
this because the teacher said don't. Okay. So I usually just say, remember, you can contact me before 9 p.m. If they do that after 9 p.m. and they are still asking for it, yes, you will be answered in the morning. I'm so sorry.
I can still answer you though.
Yeah, but even though I reply to their message, I don't reply to what they're asking. So they
Oh.
actually know that it is okay to probably talk about something personal, but it is not okay to ask about jobs or other related things. So there's, because we are working from home, there's a thin line, very thin, between working and living, right?
Yeah, I agree.
So sometimes they, because they're still young, they forget that we need to live our life too. So they think they can contact us every time. So that's probably it. Miss Putri, by the way, we are talking about giving suggestion, and we are using this one. So again, must, should, ought to, and had better. And when you're using these 4 suggestions, you need to use basic verbs to follow the words. So no S, no ing, no verb to, no to. Okay, just the basic verb. So Miss Putri, how about the others? Miss Ayu, Miss Fifi, Miss Hayatita, Miss Shahnas, do you have any problems? No problems. Wow, problem free. Okay, I'll give we're going to do this then. Okay. Now we're going to practice this part, gerunds after verbs of likes, dislikes, and preferences. So whenever you use the words of preferences like love, like, enjoy, fancy, hate, prefer, you need to use verb ing for the next part. Okay. Now these are actually following the level. When you use love, of course, you are actually at the highest part of your preference. When you use prefer, it's just something that you can do besides other things. So for example, when I say, I love eating hot noodles on a cloudy day like this, it means that that's at the top of my list. Okay. But when I say, I prefer sleeping on a cloudy day, it means that if I have other more engaging activities, I may do it, but if I don't have it, I prefer sleeping. Okay, so we have love, like, enjoy, fancy, hate, prefer. Now let's try and talk about what you prefer doing on a cloudy day like this. Is it cloudy there? By the way, I forgot to ask. We are so far apart that I forgot to ask. Is it cloudy there in your part?
Yes, Miss Tati, it's cloudy
Yes,
day.
still cloudy. So what do you prefer doing on a cloudy day like this? Okay, we'll start with Miss Shahnas, perhaps.
I think for cloudy day, I going to watching movie in Netflix or eat Indomie. It's very good for cloudy day.
Remember, Miss Janas, we are practicing these words, so you need to choose
Oh,
one of these
oh,
words.
sorry,
And
sorry.
it's okay.
I love eating Indomie or watching a movie in Netflix for cloudy day.
A nice one. Oh, how about doing both? So watching movies while eating noodles.
Okay, okay, Miss Putri.
Double jam. Okay. Okay. How about the others? Is Ayu, you're ready?
Mm, I like to I like using blanket and surfing the internet.
Oh, nice one. I like, oh, one more thing. I like staying in bed using a blanket. Don't forget the staying in bed part. I like staying in bed using the blanket and surfing the internet. Okay. Thank you, Miss Ayu. Okay. How about Miss Putri?
When cloudy day, I like for make a cup of tea or milk for me and the others in my home.
Oh, by the way, remember to use gerund for the words. So I like making cups of tea.
Or I like making cup of tea.
For people too, or you're too nice. I usually just make the cup of tea for me. Okay, thank you, Miss Putri. How about Miss Audi?
I like doing nothing. So just gonna stay in bed and do nothing, and I probably can sleep later.
Sleep again. Okay. So I like doing nothing. There you go. Practically doing nothing. For 1 hour. Miss Fifi, how about you?
I like I like sleeping and watching television on cloudy day.
I like sleeping. Most of us do. Okay, so most of us do like sleeping on a cloudy day. There you go. I think. Oh, Miss Tita, have I asked you? Not yet, Miss Tita. Go on.
Yes, maybe the same with Miss Ayu or Miss Fifi. I really enjoy sleeping, but it's impossible, yeah, because it's work today.
Too bad you have work to do. Okay.
Yes,
We all have work to do at the moment, so
yes.
too bad. Probably the ones who are not in this class are sleeping at the moment. Okay, so there you go. That's the thing that we need to remember when we use preference words. We need to use gerunds, verb ings to follow it. Okay. Now we are going to try that practice. However, your book asked me to do this part also. I'm sure you already know about this one. Okay, adverbs of frequency, the frequency that you do the activities. The more you do it, the higher the frequency is. So always is at the top, never is at the bottom, as usual. And in the middle, you have something like this. Okay. So can you please share the frequency of the previous activity that you have said? So for example, Miss Ayu was talking about staying in bed, using my blanket, and surfing the internet. Okay, so how often do you actually use or surf the internet?
I think frequently.
Oh, I frequently I frequently surf the internet.
Yes.
Yeah, you can make it into a sentence. I frequently use the internet
I frequently surfing the internet at the night.
at night. Okay. Oh, this is another thing. When you use adverb of frequency, the next part should be
Verb 1.
So if you are using the adverbs of frequency, it's something that we do almost every day. So it's using present tense, simple present tense. That's why it's using verb with S for he, she, or without S for Dewi, Ayu. Ayu, Dewi. So I frequently surf the internet at night only. Miss Ayu, seriously?
For surfing the sosmed at the night, but in the day we must to work.
Oh, wait. We must to work. What's wrong with that sentence?
We must work.
There you go. Thank you. We must work there. Okay. How about the others? What's your activity? Oh, Miss Putri is making tea. So how often do you make tea for yourself and your family?
I always make I always make a cup of tea in the morning.
Oh, only in the morning?
Yes.
Oh, because I usually in the morning and in the afternoon, so twice a day.
No. Just in the morning.
Just in the morning. Thank you, Miss Putri. Miss Shahnas, how about you?
I sometimes watching Netflix and while occasionally eating Indomie.
Remember, as I've told Miss Ayu, you need to use
Eat.
I sometimes watch movies on Netflix.
Sometimes watch movie in Netflix and while occasionally eat Indomie.
Occasionally eat Indomie. Oh, that's a nice combination. Thank you. Okay. How about Miss Audie?
I occasionally do nothing.
Really?
So
That
it's
much?
not. Yeah, it's a bit much, I think.
I rarely do nothing because I
mean,
usually do something.
I mean, in the outside, I do nothing. I mean, like I'm thinking, so I actually do nothing, right?
Well, no, thinking is a thing. It's still doing something.
Well, yeah, you can say that, I think.
So you chose occasionally still. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I occasionally do nothing. Well, okay. Miss Fifi, how about you?
I sometimes sleep and watch television in the cloudy day.
There you go. Oh, while we're at it, just something to add because Miss Fifi says look, and then we have watch, and then sorry, watch, and then we have see. Okay, so these three are actually different. The differences are when you look, you actually pay a lot of attention, and it's usually not a screen. So you can look at somebody, you can look at a thing. I'm looking at my cat. Okay, so look, but when you see, it's actually just I see something out there. I see. So not look. Watch, however, is when you stare at the screen. So watch is specifically when you see a screen in front of you. So I watched, that's why we say I watched a film, I watch TV, because watch is when you're looking at the screen. So look is when you pay attention. I look at my cat. You spend more than several seconds to look at the cat. See is when you don't expect it. Hey, I see my cat out there. So, see. Okay. Look, watch, and see. Miss Tita, how about you?
I occasionally go to sleep.
Wait, you occasionally go to sleep.
Yes.
What? But you need to be more specific. I mean, like, we always go to sleep every day, I think. But you occasionally
Yes.
go to sleep when?
When
When I have nothing to do?
yes, when I have nothing to do, nothing job.
Okay. So I occasionally sleep when I have no job. Okay,
Yes,
there you
no
go.
job.
Occasionally. Now let's take a look at practice 1. I think I've asked everyone, right? You all have shared your frequency. Now let's try and do practice 1. Okay, I'm going to ask, there are 6 people here. So I'm going to ask each of you to do each number. Miss Tita, you're going to do number 1. Miss Fifi, number 2. Miss Shahnas, number 3. Miss Audie, number 4. Miss Ayu, number 5. And Miss Putri, number 6. Okay. Except for Miss Audie and Miss Ayu, I think all of you are using the laptop.
No, I am using smartphone.
Except for Miss Ayu and Miss Audie. I think the others are using a laptop. Okay, so for those of you who are using laptops, if you can write on my screen, annotate my screen, please do. If you can't, Miss Audie and Miss Ayu, it's difficult to write on my screen using smartphone, so you can just type in the chat box. Thank you. Miss Tita has done number 1. How about the others? Oh, Miss Fifi, take a look at the subject. My boss. Okay, so if you want to change the subject, it will be he, and you need to use, I think you know what to do. So can you please? Okay, thank you. Miss Audie and Miss Ayu, feel free to chat the answer. There you go. Thank you, Miss Fifi. My boss likes traveling. Miss Putri, number 6. Okay. The security guard generally enjoy walking. Okay, Miss Shahnas. Miss Putri, remember the security guard. It is actually a she or a he. So you need to use, okay. This one is Mishana's. Where is it? Hang on. Hang out. Number 3. Okay. My colleagues, Mishana's, my colleagues. It is more than one, my colleagues. So you actually don't need to use the S. So could you please fix your answer? And then we have Miss Audie, you cannot use not like working. Doesn't like working. There you go. Can I use it? You need to use doesn't like working. So Mrs. Martha doesn't like working with tight schedule. Thank you. And then Miss Ayu. Mr. Wong. Mr. Wong is a he, so you need to use the yeah, loves. Exactly. Thank you. So Miss Ayu, could you please fix your answer? Hello, good morning, Miss B. We are talking about this one. Practice
Good
1.
morning. Yes.
So Miss is, oh, wait, Miss Putri, we don't use is. The security guard generally enjoys. So you actually use the S after the preference word. Okay, so enjoys.
No, is but enjoying, miss. Enjoying work.
Not enjoying. You add the S after the preference word. So for example, likes, enjoys, loves, something like that. So the security guard enjoys walking in the premises. I'm not sure, Miss Dewey, but let's just do it. How about number 7? Does anybody want to help me with that? Susan.
Fancy going out.
Almost. Susan is a
Oh.
she.
Fancy. Fancy going. Apa ya?
What's with the opoyo?
I'm sorry. Fancy.
You need to add the S.
Yes, but I don't know where.
Fancy.
Fancies. Fancy.
Fancies.
Oh, is that right?
Susan fancies going out.
Okay.
There you go. How about number 8? Anybody wants to try? Miss Dewey, perhaps? My best friend. What do you think? Miss Tita, perhaps, wants to answer that?
Yeah.
Miss Putri is having a problem with impatient children.
Yes.
So number 8, Miss Ayu, perhaps?
My best friend prefers working in a company.
Thank you. Remember, we don't circle our O for work, but we actually flatten the O. Working.
Working.
Working, guys. So you need to smile when you say working. My best friend prefers working in a company to running his business. Okay. Number 9, Miss Dewey, how about you? Let's try. This is a negative of preference word.
Not enjoying.
You can,
Doesn't enjoy getting up, I think.
yep, there you go. Alan doesn't enjoy. This is the thing with preference word. The same as adverbs of frequency. It is something that you choose or you do every day. So when you say, I love eating noodles, you don't usually just do it once. Today you love eating noodles and tomorrow you hate eating noodles. You don't usually do that. So that's why when we talk about preference, we still use simple present tense, love or loves. Okay. And the same goes with the negative part. We use don't or doesn't. Alan doesn't enjoy getting up early every day. Okay. And how about number 10, the last one? This should be easy.
It's playing golf.
Thank you. My director hates playing golf. Okay. So now let's talk about your colleagues. There you go. Ding, 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 ding. Uh-oh. Talking about colleagues. Please tell me one thing that you know about your colleagues. Colleagues here, by the way. I'm afraid I don't know your other colleagues besides the one joining the program. So colleagues here. For example, you are familiar with Miss Putri and you want to say something. I believe Miss Putri hates going to work, something like that. I don't know. This is just an example. So something that you know about your colleagues. You can use love, like, hate, enjoy, or you can use adverb of frequency. For example, I think Miss Shahnas often watch movies on Netflix, something. But movies on Netflix is already said, so you cannot use that. Okay. Something
I
about
think
your,
Miss Putri likes reading.
don't forget to add your S, Miss Audie.
I think Miss Putri likes reading.
Ah, there you go. Thank you. Is it true, Miss Putri? Do you like reading?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay. Thank you. Score, Miss Audie. Check. Okay. How about the others? It means that you actually know your colleagues.
I think Miss Vivi loves watching drama Korea.
Oh, is that so, Miss Vivi? Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Thank you, Miss Ayu. How about the others?
I think Miss Ayu likes working working from home
Working from home.
because the office far away from her home.
Ah, yep, yep. You're right. So I think Miss Ayu loves working from home. There you go. Me too, actually. Even though my office is only 5 minutes walk from my home, I still prefer working at home. Okay. How about Miss Tita, Miss Putri, Miss Shahnas, and Miss Dwi?
I think Miss Sahnas like traveling with her husband.
Oh, don't forget your S, Miss Putri. I think Miss
Excuse me,
Shahnas.
sir? Excuse me, miss?
Don't forget your S. Remember your S. I think Miss Shahnas likes traveling.
I think Miss Sahnas likes traveling with her husband.
Is that true, Miss Shahnas? You are muted.
Yes.
Yes,
Miss Putri.
so scored. Ace, Miss Putri. You know your colleague. Okay. Rita?
Okay, I think Miss Dwi likes to have fun with her children after work.
Oh, remember, there's a difference between using likes to and likes having or spending time. So we'll talk about that later. But Miss Tita, could you please repeat your sentence? I think Miss Fifi likes
I think Miss Dwi likes have fun with her children.
having fun with her
Having
children.
fun. Yes,
Okay. Is that true, Miss Fifi? Of course, lah.
of course.
Of course, there's no question about that. Okay. Okay. How about Miss Shahnas and Miss Dwi?
I think Miss Odi likes hang out with friends.
Remember, after likes, you need to use gerund.
I think Miss Odi
Likes
likes hang out with friends.
hanging out with friends.
Hanging out with friends.
Is that true, Miss Audie?
Yeah, she's my friend, so she should know.
Okay, there you go. Miss Dwi, how about you?
I think Miss Teta enjoys go to mall with her friend in office because
Oh,
we very uh, kangen kangen banget untuk
Miss,
kumpul ya.
you miss hanging out?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Remember, Miss B, you need to use gerund after enjoys. So Miss Tita enjoys going
Enjoys
to the mall.
going to mall with her friend in office.
There you go.
Yes.
I, I honestly haven't been to a mall for 1.5 years. So give me. Okay. So thank you, Miss Dui, for that. Okay, now the grammar part of it is if you say I like to and I like blah 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 ing, that there's a difference to that. So when you say I like to go to a mall and I like going to malls. Okay. Now the first one, I like to go to a mall means that you want to go to a mall. So after this pandemic is over, I like to go to a mall. You want to do it. But when you say, I like going to malls, it means that daily, no preferences of the mall, nothing, but you just love going to the mall. So it's not one thing that you do, but every time you see a mall, you want to go. So that's the difference between to go and using going. Okay. So when you're actually talking about hobbies or something that you do often, you use like going with gerund, verb ing. But if you want to talk about something that you want to do once, you can say, I like to, blah, blah. For example, just at the moment, I like to have a cup of coffee. I like drinking coffee every day. See, can you tell the difference? At the moment, I like to have a cup of coffee, but I actually like drinking coffee every day. So there you go. Now, if you take a look at this part, we are going to have a listening, the next one. So I'm going to clear the drawings. We will have several people talking in a conversation, and you are going to complete this table about Amy, Leon, and Ilya. Okay? I hope you are ready with notes or something that you can write on, maybe your smartphone or your piece of paper or something, because you're going to listen to the audio and write down the information.
Conversation for Employees, Book 2.
Can you hear the audio?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Unit 1, Leisure Activities. Language Focus. Models, gerunds, and adverbs of frequency. Practice 3. Listen to Amy, Leon, and Ilya talking about their free time activities. Fill in the boxes based on what you hear. Look at the example. Situation: in a cafe after office hours.
So, what do you like doing in your free time, Leon?
I like sports. It's fun, and the expenses are covered by our company.
You're right. What sort of sports do you play?
I sometimes go swimming, and I play tennis. I usually play tennis on Saturdays.
You do? I often play tennis too.
I never play tennis. I don't like it.
Oh, what kind of sports do you like then?
I don't like sports that much, but I sometimes play badminton.
I don't play badminton. How about movies? Do you like watching movies?
Yes, I do. I always watch comedy, romance, and science fiction. I sometimes watch horror movies too.
I never watch horror movies, but I love science fiction. I usually watch Star Trek.
I love science fiction too. I watch it often. Hey, why don't we go out for a movie sometime after work?
That's a good idea. What do you think, Leon?
Count me in.
Okay. That's our listening part. Now, if you have the answers to these, could you please fill out the table? Oh, my battery is running low. Okay, so while you are filling up the table, I'm going to plug in my laptop. So, nobody is filling out the table. How about never? Did anybody say never?
I think it's Leon.
Leon, okay. What activities does he say never to?
Tennis.
Horror movies.
Horror movies, okay. Anything else?
You don't play badminton, I think. I wasn't listening much because
So
I
according
was
to
talking to.
Miss Odi, this is Leon. Okay. Anyone else wants to help me? How about tennis?
Ilya never doing tennis.
Ilya, never. Okay, I'm going to write this down. Ilya. Okay. How about Amy? We have Ilya, Leon, Amy, tennis?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Don't worry. We are just going to write it down, and later we are going to check again our answers. So feel free to say what you've heard so far. Swimming. Anybody else but Leon say it? No? Nobody got it? Okay. Badminton then?
Usually, Leon plays
Usually.
badminton.
Okay. So I'm going to write down Leon under usually. Amy and Ilya?
Ilya sometimes play
Yeah,
badminton.
sometimes.
Sometimes. And Amy? No.
Miss Teti sometimes Ilya.
Oh yeah. Why did I write sometimes? Astaghfirullah. Ding dong. Ilya. There you go. Amy? No? Okay. Watching comedies. Which one is it?
Ilya always
Yeah,
watching comedy.
Ilya always. Okay. So 2 people said Ilya always watches comedies.
Always.
always, Miss.
No, never.
Oh ya Allah, this is never. Ding dong. Always. Hmm. And then science fiction.
Science fiction, Ilya always watch.
Ilya too always watches. Okay.
I think Leon said he likes watching science fiction too. So it's probably often.
Often. Okay. Leon. Okay. Anything else that you want to add before we listen to the audio once more?
Ilya sometimes watch a horror movie.
Ilya sometimes watches horror movies. Sometimes. Ilya. Okay. Now my question is, how many people are in the audio?
3 people.
3 people. And what are their genders, according to you? How many female and how many males?
Females and one
One
female.
female, 2 male.
1 female and 2 males. So which one is the female? Amy, Leon, or Ilya?
Ilya.
Ilya.
No way.
No,
Amy.
Amy.
Amy is the female. That's why I was...
Oh.
So Amy is the female. Leon and Ilya are the males. Okay. So let's listen to it one more time. And now we are going to check all of the names here. Did we get it correctly?
Conversation for Employees, Book 2, Unit 1, Leisure Activities, Language Focus, Models, Gerunds, and Adverbs of Frequency. Practice 3. Listen to Amy, Leon, and Ilya talking about their free time activities. Fill in the boxes based on what you hear. Look at the example. Situation: in a cafe after office hours.
So, what do you like doing in your free time, Leon?
I like sports. It's fun, and the expenses are covered by our company.
You're right. What sort of sports do you play?
I sometimes go swimming, and I play tennis. I usually play tennis on Saturdays.
You do? I often play tennis too.
I never play tennis. I don't like it.
Oh, what kind of sports do you like then?
I don't like sports that much, but I sometimes play badminton.
I don't play badminton. How about movies? Do you like watching movies?
Yes, I do. I always watch comedy, romance, and science fiction. I sometimes watch horror movies too.
I never watch horror movies, but I love science fiction. I usually watch Star Trek.
I love science fiction too. I watch it often. Hey, why don't we go out for a movie sometime after work?
That's a good idea. What do you think, Leon?
Count me in.
Okay, there you go. So I've put some question marks next to the names. What do you think? Should we change those? So who says never plays tennis anyway?
Amy.
Pardon?
Amy.
Amy, got it. There you go. Amy. So Amy. How about Ilya? Does he never, sometimes, often, or
Often.
Often.
Ilya often play tennis? Thank you. That is correct. Swimming there. Besides Leon, does anybody else mention swimming?
No.
No. Okay. And badminton?
Badminton. Leon never.
Leon never.
Amy sometimes.
Amy sometimes. There you go. To switch it here. Oh. Leon never. Amy sometimes. And comedies?
Amy always.
I always watch comedies, according to Amy. And then? Horror? How about horror? Does Amy like horror movies?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. And then science fiction?
Leon loves that.
Leon?
Yes, Leon loves science fiction.
Leon loves science fiction, but does it mean that he
Yes.
watches it often? He watches them often? Sometimes, usually, or
Yes.
always?
Often.
Often, okay. And this one? This must not be Ilya. Or is it Ilya?
Always Amy watching science fiction.
Amy always watches science fiction. Okay. There you go. Now, speaking of these things, how about you? Okay, so I'm going to ask you to talk about all 6 things. For example, like this: I never play tennis. I never swim again. Okay. I sometimes play badminton. I often watch comedies. I sometimes watch horror movies, and I always watch science fiction. Okay. How about you? But all these 6 things here. Anybody wants to start?
I never swimming since 3 years ago.
Oh, remember, Miss Ayu, when you use never, you don't use verb ing. I never swim.
I never swim since 3 years ago.
How about the others? the tennis, badminton, and so on?
I never play tennis since 4 years ago.
I never played tennis again. Okay. There you go.
I sometimes play badminton.
Sometimes play badminton. Comedies, horror movies, science fictions?
I sometimes watch horror movies.
Oh, I sometimes watch horror movies. Thank you, Ms. Fifi. Science fiction?
I often watch science fiction.
I often watch science fiction. Star Wars, Star Trek. What else? Comedies. Anyone?
Sometimes watch comedy.
I sometimes watch comedies. There you go. I sometimes watch comedies. The thing here might trick you to say I sometimes watching comedies, but I'm glad nobody actually said watching. Although the writing here is witting. Now, this is the thing that we're going to do next. If you take a look at your ebook, there is, I'm going to slip to case study. It is probably too long. Have you read the case study, by the way? No, not yet. Does anybody read the case study before this class? No. Okay. So, so because the case study is a bit long and we actually need extensive time to do the discussion, we're going to do with this one then, the simple cases. Practice 3, write suggestion. I'm going to ask you to discuss it with a partner because we have, how many people do we have? We have 7 people. So 3 people are going to be in one group. The others are going to be in pairs. You are going to give suggestions to these problems. There are 8 problems. Please find as many suggestions as you can with your partners. Remember to use must, should, ought to, or had better be. It had better. I'm going to send you to the breakout room. And then we are going to have the breakout room for, it's not going to be long. It's going to be 5 minutes only. So make sure you are discussing as many problems as possible with your pair. Okay, I'm opening all rooms. Feel free to discuss, and I hope you are using English to discuss.
Lydia. Should she do workbook first, right? It's the workbook. It's not this one. Nanas.
Yeah.
Where to see that?
Give
That
suggestion.
writing.
Oh, no. Give suggestion for practice 3.
Yes. Where's
What
the practice
number?
3?
Oh, I
Oh.
print out it.
Oh, okay. I'm checking that out. Wait.
It's actually in the student book, Miss Odi.
Yeah. I forgot that. I'm sorry. Practice.
Ada nih.
Will it take? You should pass this interview.
Should prepare ngono kayak yo. You should
Will it having? Will it having? Will it having itu dia. Oh, prepare. You should prepare for the interview.
You must prepare the interview or the another work.
Mas,
You must
try itu
you should
different from sulfur. No,
apa ya? But
so dan mencari kesibukan ya. Find make itu make rencana apa ya?
you must try. You must try.
Okay, welcome back to the main session. So how's the discussion? I hope you find suggestion for each problem. Let's take a look at the problems again. So hang on a second. There you go. So problem number 1, does anybody want to share their group's suggestion? From 1, perhaps, Miss Ayu, Miss Putri, and Miss Fifi?
You must go to office.
Miss Fifi, pardon, can you please speak louder?
Oh, so sorry. You must go to office earlier.
You must go to the office earlier. Thank you. Room 2, perhaps you have a different suggestion? Miss Dwi, Miss Tita?
You must set the alarm repeatedly.
You must, pardon, alarm.
You must set the alarm repeatedly.
Ah, nice one. You
Maybe.
must, yeah. Why not? You must set the alarm repeatedly. Thank you. Room 3, Miss Audi, Miss Shahnas. Any other suggestion perhaps for John?
He had better get a different job.
He'd better get a different job. Okay. So that's a very drastic suggestion. You'd better get a different job. But still, I appreciate the different suggestion from each room. Thank you so much. Number 2, Nina. Let's start number 2 with room 2. Miss Dwi, Miss Tita, what's your suggestion for Nina?
Maybe Nina must try to make a business before retiring.
Nice suggestion. You must try making a business before retiring. Thank you. Miss Audi, Miss Yahnas, room 3.
She should do it sooner.
She should do it what?
Sooner.
Pardon?
She's going to retire next year. I mean, she should do it sooner.
Oh, that's the advice. She should do it sooner. Okay. So
yeah,
I thought
it's like the job is not really good. So yeah, that's his situation.
Okay, thank you. She should do it sooner. Room 1, Miss Ayu, Miss Putri, and Miss Fifi.
You should find a new job.
She should find a new job. Okay, thank you. She should find a new job. She should do it sooner, and she should she should try making business before she is retired. Okay. Now we are going to go to Will is having a job interview. I'm going to skip number 3 at the moment. I'm going to go to number 4 because I think this is interesting. This happens to us a lot. We forget instructions. So, room 3, what's your suggestion for Richard?
Okay. Richard should consume vitamins.
Consumes what? Pardon?
Vitamins.
Vitamins?
Yeah.
Oh, so his brain will get better, something like
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, that helps.
Okay, so Richard should consume something to strengthen his brain. Okay. Room 1, Miss Ayu, Miss Putri, and Miss Fifi. Your advice, your suggestion for Richard?
Oh, Richard should make a note.
Oh, Richard should make a note. I agree. Richard should make a note. Yep. Thank you for that suggestion. Room 2, Miss Dwi, Miss Tita. Oh, Miss Dwi is on the phone. How about Miss Tita? Could you help me with the suggestion? No suggestion for Richard?
I don't know. Maybe Richard must try to reform him to
Richard
his
must,
boss.
pardon, Miss Tita, you are breaking. Richard must,
Must try to reform him to his boss
yeah,
about instruction.
Yep, exactly. You must try to reconfirm with his boss for the instructions. Yep. That's a nice suggestion. Now we'll go to number 3. Will, okay. I'm sure all of us has had job interviews once in our lives. So your suggestion for Will from room 1.
Number 3.
Yes, Miss Ayu?
Will you must prepare for the interview. You must prepare for interview.
You must prepare for the interview. There you go. Oh, by the way, when you already use should, you don't add must. So you don't say you should must. You must prepare for the interview. Is that the final suggestion, Miss Aya?
Yes.
Yeah, you must prepare for the interview. Okay, thank you. How about Miss Audi, Miss Shahnas?
Will is having a job in the Universitas. Will should he had better prepare himself, or he had better wake up earlier
You
to
better wake up earlier.
to prepare himself.
Okay, so he'd better
Yeah.
wake up earlier to prepare himself. There you go.
Yeah.
Miss Dwi and Miss Tita. Thank you, Miss Adi from room 3. Room 2, Miss Dwi, Miss Tita. Number 3, Will is having a job interview this Tuesday.
You so sleep early.
You should leave.
Sleep early.
Oh, leave early. You should leave early. There you go. You should leave early from home, I suppose. You should leave early from home or from the job interview.
I think she said sleep early.
Oh, sleep early. Astaghfirullah. I heard you should leave early. You should sleep early.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, thank you. You should sleep early. Will is having a job interview this Tuesday, and you should sleep early. Thank you for that, Miss Dwi. Now, this is getting tougher. Not everybody knows about employees turnover. I, for one, don't deal with employees turnover. Okay, that's the human resources activity. So maybe you can suggest anything for the company. Feel free. Room 1, room 2, room 3.
From room 3, the company should set a clear employee agreement.
Oh, you are dealing with this company for 5 years. Okay. Before 5 years, you cannot find another job and you are not free to go out from this company.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Shahnas. So the company should
set clear employee agreement.
Thank you. Set clear the employees agreement. Thank you. Such a nice advice. From other room 2, room 1. Nobody from room 1 and room 2? I suppose Ms. Shahnas suggestion is the best. The company should, of course, if it's already black and white and you sign the agreement, the employees cannot do anything about it. Hardly anything about it. So how about number 6? The company's performance was poor last semester. Marketing people? Anyone? Room 1, room 2, room 3? Nobody?
From room 1,
Mhm.
you should make the innovation for the next semester and evaluate for last semester.
Oh, nice. You should make innovations for the next semester and evaluate the previous semester. Thank you. That's a nice suggestion. Now, number 7, we go back to something trivial. Our photocopier has broken down for more than a week. This is too simple. After employees turnover and company's performance, we go back to photocopier. Anybody? Room 1, room 2, room 3? Room 2, perhaps?
Photocopier must be repaired as soon as possible.
The photocopier must be repaired as soon as possible. There you go. Or we should call the photocopier service.
Yes.
Something. The presentation slides. Yeah. But again, this is mundane. I'm not going to ask for this because the presentation slides are the presenter's responsibility. There you go. This is already 11 a.m. Do you have any questions about our sessions before I end this session? No questions?
I want to ask about
Sure.
how to use have to and must. I mean, when to use that.
Oh, didn't we already talk? Oh, Miss Audie was not here perhaps. Okay, so when you use have to, it deals with your own, with yourself. Like I said, I have to wake up at 4:30 in the morning. Nobody tells me to wake up at 4:30, but I have to wake up at 4:30 in the morning. And then must is actually when somebody tells you to. So I must start working at 8 o'clock. I must start working at 8 o'clock. If it's up to me, I don't work at 8 o'clock, but the company asks me to work at 8 o'clock. So I must work at 8 o'clock. So that's the difference between must and have to. Okay.
But I do hear sometimes that people use have to.
Yeah, interchangeably.
But it's but it's not always so. Have to is widely used for ourselves.
Typically,
is that it?
Generally speaking.
Oh.
But some people don't use the pattern or the format correctly, so they just use must and have to interchangeably. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else? No? If you don't have any more questions, I'm going to end the session here. Thank you so much for joining today's morning session. You will be with Miss Amel later. Goodbye, everyone. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Teti.
Bye.